Hello and welcome everyone. This is Ruse TV, but we are here for Oz Team Racing. It's Friday night. It's season 1 of the GT3 series, and it's round number 2. We are at Monza this week, as you can see on the screen there. So last week was round number 1 at Watkins Glen. This week it is at Monza, and taking a quick look back, it was a domination from Babby, who was fastest in free practice. He was fastest in qualifying. He was fastest in the race. He won by a considerable amount, so it was a real domination from him. So Glory Babby last week qualified P1, finished the race in P1 as well. Icarus was in P2. Was the winner of the Pro-Am division last week. So he finished in P2, qualified in P5, had a really good race there in the Lexus. And then it was D Hudson for the AM. He qualified 31st, finished in 33rd, but he was the highest in the AM class. So they were the class winners, and obviously Glory Babby was the winner last week. Having a look at the standings now, as you can see on top there, since Glory Babby on 75 points, Icarus in P2 and Hamilton in P3. John Zhu, he got a penalty last week as well. Finished in P4. Skinny Luke, Bank, Vinny Canero, Picken, Ren, and Lockie Bevis down there in P10. Had some pretty bad luck there at the end with a speeding in the pit lane infringement. In terms of the Pro-Am, you can see Icarus there is in P1, Bank and Bear. That's your top 3 right now for the Pro-Am division. Plenty of cars in that as well. And you can see Robbins, so Anderson, Robbins, Tanner, Bevis, Douglas, Smiles and Azar rounding out the top 10 there. And then you've also got the AM class. So only 4 drivers in that last week. And it was D Hudson who finished ahead of all of them. So big shout out to all of those. That is the standings. Let's take a quick look at the circuit. So it is the famous Monza. It's 11 turns, 5.79 kilometers. It's the Temple of Speed. This is going to be a good one tonight, I reckon. We saw action at the first couple of turns at Watkins Glen last week, and this track is quite synonymous for that. So I dare say we might see a little bit more of that tonight. I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. The qualifying is about to get underway. A little bit different tonight in terms of because there was such a large field last week. They have changed up the qualifying a little bit. So they're doing it in 2 stages. Qualifying is going to be 25 minutes instead of, it was just 15 or 20 minutes last week, I can't remember. So a little bit longer, and I'll try and get my head around that. I really should have had the notes already ready to go, but I think it was like the top 5 of one of the classes as well. So server info, qualifying. We'll work it out as we go. I just remember I saw it at the football quite difficult. But here we go. So cars making their way out on circuit. A little bit harder for me to track because not all of them are out there. I think it's going to be it's going to be some of the pro guys. We'll see the numbers more recognisable this week with the silver, the grey, and the red as well. So last week we didn't quite have that, but this week we do. I am Ramen Bob. Nice to see you on there. Go Jamin. Not too sure specifically who they're referring to, but sharing on in the chat. Hey James, that's a nice looking Ford Mustang, isn't it? Very nice, beautiful liveries. well. We presented last week Harry Smiles in the Climburner Lamborghini entry. So it's mostly going to be the Pro-Am class and AM going out there. Got to reboot on the run here. Hopefully that works. Isn't it? Oh no. That is not good. Why is that not working? Apologies everyone. Oh no. This is going to be really rough if I can't. It's never not worked. Oh man. That doesn't work. Sorry everyone. This is not good. It was working, but now it's not. I do not know what to do here. This is rough. Just give me a second. I might just have to get out of the game and start it up again, and then come back. I'll be back in a minute.
Green light, go, go, go.
We're back. We're back, everyone. Got it sorted. It was the old turn it off and turn it on again. All done. So we are back. The 444 is on top of the standings right now in the Aston Martin. Looking good with a 148.027. right now. Who is up? Hayden Bevis is up. He's up by half a second right now as he makes his way into Parabolica. Currently P5. This time's fast enough to put him at least on the front row of the grid. Possibly P1. Just misses out by 48 100ths of a second. Here's Bradley Bracefield in the 952 Lamborghini. A big handful there of oversteer coming out of Parabolica, and that was enough to send him into the wall. So we'll skip that one. Here's Nate James, currently P10, improves his time but doesn't improve his position. Daniel Hudson, Negative Campbell Racing, the 818. This is an AM entry. Doing quite well at the moment. A 48.805 is his best time. On the pace right now, he is good enough to get onto P1. I dare say he will put his name up there as he comes across the line, and he does. There you go. 95 100ths of a second, the difference. Here's Harry Smiles just coming out of this Scary chicane. See plenty of action through there during the race, no doubt. Would have been going 10 minutes in this qualifying session, 15 still to go. Smiles still up on his best time, 6/10, so some big gains. The track's fast, 14 degrees air temperature, 17 degrees track temperature. Smiles goes onto the second row of the grid in P4. Here's Phil Whiteman, Papa Juliet Racing. He's down significantly on his best time right now, so he's not going to improve. Hayden Bevis only marginally improves, but doesn't improve enough to move his position north. Here's Dylan Douglas in the 52. He should shift himself up a spot. No, he doesn't. He remains there in P7 for now. Here's Chris Hoffman for Hoff Racing. We go on board the Aston Martin. Session just coming towards an end where we'll get the other half of the field to come out. So that was due to, we had a huge field last week, I think 39 or 40 cars. So it is a little bit smaller this week, 31, which is still an absolutely fantastic turnout though. So yeah, another good large field, high quality field. And we'll get the second half of qualifying underway shortly. That's where this Smiles right now. His way through the Parabolica to go on board the driver's eye. Doesn't improve his time enough to improve his position. Here's Phil Whiteman again. Almost kicks up a little bit of dust there on the exit of Ascari. So he's down there in P13 right now with the three of his AM compadres. 11th through to 14th. Anderson, Hoffman, Whiteman and Lee. I think he's called it a day. Here's Hoffman, so he's not going to improve his time unless there's a dramatic uptick in pace out of the final corner, and it doesn't look like there is. And he makes his way to the line. That'll be his session all over. Here's Gordon Anderson in the Meatworks entry. Lexus. It was a Lexus 1-2 last week. Anderson not looking like improving his time here, so that'll be it for him. And that'll be it for his qualifying session as the next group of cars make their way out. One of them is Skinny Luke. So that the top of the times there was Hudson with a 1:47.932. Let's see how long that time stands for the AM driver. And you can see the second half of the field now making their way out onto the track, and they will complete their qualifying session as well, and then we'll do the 65-minute race after this. And it's going to be a lot smoother. Here's Breno Alice in the number 20 BMW. Glory Babby in front of him. So last week's race winner took out pole position and took out the victory as well. So he'll be hoping for a repeat of that this evening. This is Shane Robbins. Having a little bit of difficulty there. The De La Rocha. And cars just weaving back and forth, get a bit of temperature in their tyre. Tarab Bank. I don't think I had his livery last week, but I'm glad I do this week. Have a look at it. That is beautiful. That's a nice looking car. Ferrari. Not Ferrari, the Porsche. There it is. Very nice looking, very lovely presented car. We'll see if it goes as fast as it does, as it looks good. 47 is going to kick us off. That's Glory Babby. What better person to go on board a lap? It's his first time. It's going to be, he makes his way through the Retafilio chicane up through the Curva Grande. Beautiful sounding Lexus engine. So 1:47.932. Track's at optimum now, so they're definitely getting the better of the track conditions. It was fast in the first half, so the track's evolving. 14 degrees air temperature, 17 degrees track. No wind to speak of. Glory Babby sends it through Lesmo number 2. And he'll head down the hill under the bridge towards the Ascari chicane. Let's go on board with him here. Using all the track available to him. Those little sausage curbs, they're small but they're deadly. And looks like he navigated through there very nicely. Let's see what sort of time he shakes out with. There's only 9 minutes left in this session, so there's enough to do an out lap, and this is the first flying lap. Let's see what he comes up with. Goes straight to the top of times of 46.980. Who else coming around? Here comes Gallagher. So the times are going to start to change around. Skinny Luke goes up to P2. Hamilton in there as well. 61. This is Hederman. So Babby, Luke, Gallagher, Hamilton, they all replace the top 4. 46.980 compared to a 47.930. So almost a second faster than the fastest time of the first group. Here comes Chris Wren, making his way across the line. He moves up into P2. Have a look at Breno Alice. So Icarus not racing this week. He was here last week. Not racing at round number 2. We'll get back to Breno Alice in a minute. Here's Nick Picken. He goes up into P15. 16. This is Ben Newman in another Meatworks entry, another Lexus, making his way through the Parabolica. That's good enough for P4 for Newman. And here comes Breno Ellis, the second to last runner of the first group. Where does he shake out? P2, so almost a second off. Pole sitter right now, which is Glory Babby. That was roughly the same gap as it was last week in qualifying. So Glory Babby has continued his stellar run. Looking to make it 2 from 2 so far in this first season, the GT3 for Oz Team Racing. We've got the logo down the bottom now, beautiful. Let's finish off Shane Robbins, and then it's not long to go, just a tick over 6 minutes remaining. Where's Robbins' shakeout? He'll be the last one. 22, there we go. What's Newman up to? He's the furthest along. It's not really going to allow them for too many runs. Still get a little bit of leeway though. You're afforded a few mistakes, so you'll have a few goes at it, enough to feel comfortable anyway. I think of Lexus's Lex on. 3 in the field that I can see. There's Newman, P5 right now. What about Philip Hamilton in the astonished and confused? Number 15, he's P10 right now. It's a pretty big gap still between P1 and P2, almost 7/10. Hederman is in P2 in the Aston Martin. Ellis is in P3. He's sitting in the pits right now. Hamilton, he goes up into P6, so that's a good result for him. Not going to go great for the Gallagher brothers entry, the 225. Here is Simon Phillips in the other Meatworks entry. His way towards the line. P4. Nice work from him. Here's Tarab Bank. Beautifully presented Porsche. Currently in P10. Moves into P9. So nice work from him. 36. Where's the 36. That's Skinny Luke. He's had a bit of an incident. Let's see what happened here. Just overdid it on the loud pedal. That's a fair whack there in the wall. He'll get going again shortly. Go back to live images. There we go. So Newman on a good lap here. This could get him onto the second row of the grid. Currently P6 right now. Moves up into P4. Nice work from him. Andrew Gallagher. He's improving his time by about 3/10. That'll be good enough to sneak into the third or fourth row. Currently sitting in P11. Babby's out there on his warm-up lap. Hederman is up on his best time right now. We'll flick across to him very, very shortly. Oh no, he's binned it, I think. He's off the circuit. So he was 3/10 up, but he's had a little mishap out there. Gallagher moves up into P6. Tarab Bank again. He's 2/10 up on his best time. That'd sneak him up around 8th or 9th right now. Currently sitting in P11. So Babby and Hederman are out there. So Alice and Skinny Luke are both not. They're the only two in the top 10 not out on circuit at the moment. I think that wasn't Robbins. Oh, Little Bear. A Bear. I'll get to him in a second. Have I even seen him tonight? I'm not too sure. Bank moves up into P10. Here's Andy Bear in P23 right now in the baby blue Porsche. Currently sitting in 23rd right now. Let's ride with him until the end of the lap. The line to begin another one. Gallagher not improving his time. So everyone's out there except Alice. Robbins about to cross the line, but not going to be improving his time. Ooh, what about Hamilton? He's up 3/10. So that'd get him possibly on the second row of the grid here. So let's ride with Philip Hamilton. He winds that big Aston Martin up. And he moves up into P4. So nice work from him. Here's Matt Bursa. I haven't seen too much of him this evening as he's hustling that forward out of the Ascari chicane. He's 1.5 tenths up. He's second off pole. Alice still in the pits. Gallagher in there now as well. Babby just cruising around. Hederman. I'm not too sure what Hederman's doing right now. He's gone back into the pits. Here's Bursa. Just a little bit of time at the end of this lap. So he's going to improve, but only 31 hundredths of a second. So that's not enough to move him position. Here's Etch-a-Sketch. He moves up into P10. What about Nick Picken? Another Ford in the field. 1.5 tenths up on his best time. That's not going to be enough to move the needle. Here's Newman, 1.5 tenths up. So Hederman, Allison, Hamilton, they're all in the pits right now. They're all cars ahead of Ben Newman. He's 1.5 tenths up. He's losing a little bit of time there out of Parabolica. Makes it up again. Let's see, can he get onto the second row of the grid? I reckon he will. Whereabouts though? P3, nice work in the dying stages of this qualifying session from Newman. Here's Babby. So he's currently sitting in pole. He's not going to be challenged. He's just cruising around. He's about 1.5 tenths down. We've gone to 000. Let's have a look at someone fighting for position right now. Etch-a-Sketch and Skinny Luke. They're both out there. Skinny Luke not on a fast lap. Bursa in the 66. He is on a fast lap, but he's about 4 tenths down on his best time. So Hamilton is looking safe for now. Let's see. The 386, the Nissan. I think it's the sole Nissan in the field. Can he improve? He only needs to improve by about 61 hundredths of a second to move up into P9. Let's see what he can do. Not looking likely on improvement at this stage. And I don't think he's going to get there. He's not. So he'll remain in P10. Nick Picken, it's only small margins once again, 45 100ths of a second between him and Bank. Can he make up any ground? I don't think he can. He doesn't. It's all over. That is qualifying all done. So congratulations. It's Glory Babby again, P1, and he did that by 7 tenths of a second. So that Lexus is absolutely on fire again. Congratulations to him. Now, highest of the AM runners, that's D. Hudson. So he was a winner from AM winner from last week. And I think this is Pro-Am. I don't think that can't be right. Anyway, in the 484, that was Ford. So that is the grid all set. I'll be back in like a minute and we'll get this 65 minutes of Monza underway. All right, we are back and only moments away from starting this 65-minute round number 2 of the Oz Team Racing GT3 season. And once again, another healthy grid. Beautiful grid. 31 cars in total. Last week we did have the issue just after turn 1 at Watkins Glen. There was a lot of conjecture in the Discord and protests and all sorts of stuff. Hopefully we don't see a repeat. There wasn't anything really malicious involved in it. I think it was just people a little bit frustrated, as you do, as you become a little bit when stuff like that happens. But I think that's all just part and parcel of sim racing, and at the end of the day, you're not the one who has to pay for the repairs in real life either. But it's more the time investment that I can see that people would get upset about not being taken out on the first corner of the first lap of the first race of the season. But anyway, track's at optimum, 15 degrees track temperature. Track is 20, and we are side by side, and we are about to get things underway here. It's going to be Glory, Babby, and Hederman leading from the front of the field. Got an angry pack of 31 cars. Let's see how they all filter into the Retafilio chicane. Once we get the signal, there it is. That looks like it's a pretty good start there from Babby. Also, Breno, Alice, Hamilton, Bertha in there as well. As they all long drag down into the first chicane here. Alice going around the outside there. Hederman feeding it in. As they a little bit of pushing and shoving there. Nothing too unruly though, and all very Bear, what happened, my man? Oh no, he's going around. Oh dear. But you know what? A little bit of yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. But all in all, not too bad. Not too bad. Pretty well behaved, I reckon. That was down there, 484. That was Ford, who's dropping down right now as we're through Lesmo number 2. And it's still Babby leading the way, and the rest of the field has managed to bar through. So what could have been a disaster was not. And these guys are all good, ready to go. And it's Babby in a very, very familiar position as he was for the majority of the race last week. To make it out of Scari for the first time. This is Alice looking to put a move on Hederman as they make their way towards the Parabolica. Nothing doing there. We're going to go around the outside. Doing at the moment. It's just Glory Babby leading the way for the first lap of this one. We're having a look at Bersa and Hamilton. Bersa in the Ford there, Hamilton in the yellow Aston Martin. As they all filter down towards the first chicane once again. And I think he's going to get that move done. He got a little bit of a tag there at the end, gets hit from behind. Oh, there's a little bit of hip and shoulder there from the Porsche. That's Gallagher. That's Phillips there in the Lexus. So some good hard racing in the early stages of this one. That's Hamilton once again. This is Skinny Luke. So Hamilton had to take evasive action there. And he manages to correct the ship, so he's in P6 there. Skinny Luke in P7. What's Breno Alice doing? He's all over the back of Hederman. They're going to go side by side here. Coming up to the Ascari chicane, they go under the bridge. Hederman's got to have the inside line. Alice will have the inside line on the exit though. And he uses that to perfection. And he is able to take away P2. So nice move there from Breno Alice in the early stages of this one. He is now going to be giving chase to Glory Babby, who's already 2.2 seconds down the road, so he's already flying. So Nick Picken has managed to get past Chris Wren there as well, and that's Hayden Bevis going around the outside. Or that was Chris Wren as well. So has he got a problem, or has he just had a little bit of an issue there? Himself going again. Chris Wren is in the pits, so one of the first people in the pits tonight. This is Hamilton and Gallagher into turn one, and nice work there from Philip Hamilton. He's flying right now in that Aston Martin. He started in P5 though, so down in P7. He's dropped a couple of spots from the get-go. He's looking to claw those back as quickly as he can. And that means Phillips is going to start putting pressure on Gallagher. Oh, Hamilton having to take evasive action. So that's going to put him under pressure right now. That's Gallagher in the pink Porsche. Good battle going on. So what if Hamilton's just struggling with maybe a little issue with that Aston Martin at the moment that's just holding him back ever so slightly, making that car a little bit more uncomfortable than it needs to be. He's going to have his hands full keeping that Porsche behind him right now of Gallagher. Glory Babby, 1.9 seconds is the gap right now. There's Breno Alice. Here's Babby going through Parabolica. So you can see that's the gap right now between P1 and P2. So Glory Babby, this lap, 47.8. Breno Alice, a 47.5. So the fight is on right now. Glory Babby not looking like he's going to be able to walk away with this one like he did last week. That's Christian Wells getting past Hayden Bevis. Hayden Bevis trying to fight back, looking to go down the inside into turn one. Not able to do that. What's happened here? Someone's... Oh, this is that's Wells, not Hamilton. They're swapping positions though, he and Gallagher. That's Tarab Bank getting involved in it as well. So Bank full pressure on Gallagher right now. So the view from behind of Gallagher. And now Bank, he's coming under pressure from Etch a Sketch. He's got Phillips right there and Hudson. So this is a pretty angry pack going on right now. And we've only been going just on 7 minutes. So plenty of action in the opening stage of this one. Round number 2. This is Bursa and Newman. Newman ahead in the Lexus. Skinny Luke behind. This is 4th, 5th and 6th right now. That's Hedman just up ahead. So he's 1.5 seconds off Alice right now. And Alice is 2.4 seconds is the gap. What time does Babby do this trip around? 47.4. So 47.5 was the previous one from Alice, who just did a 48 flat, so 6/10. So that accounts for the gap there, widening, not closing on that previous lap. We're watching Skinny Luke and Matt Bursa doing battle. That's Newman in the Lexus in front of them, and that's Skinny Luke, gets the job done. And now he's going to go on the full attack. He's going to try and put Newman under pressure and keep Bursa behind. That was a nice move from Skinny Luke to move himself up into P number 5. Good battle going on. That's Hamilton, so he looks like he's been able to just get himself sort of calm and composed. What's going on down here? Oh, poor old Bear. He looks like he's been in the Andy Bear has been in the wars a little bit. He's down there in 23rd. This is Bracefield in the Lamborghini, in that black Lamborghini. Dylan Douglas right now. So there's battles going on all the way through the field. Skinny Luke and Ben Newman are looking to swap positions, and they do. Let's see how that came about. So this is Skinny Luke, and he's able to get it done. Nice work from him. And we'll go back to the live images. There we go. So 10 minutes down, it's Glory Babby leading the way. Breno Alice, 3 seconds is the gap. Right now that it's Hederman, Luke and Bursa, we can see on the screen here. It's Ben Newman in the blue Lexus, as we see Christian Wells and Hudson. Hudson the highest of the AM runners, and Wells just has just the edge in the top speed there, and manages to get that done nicely. So Christian Wells moves up into P13. This is Robbins M1. I haven't really seen too much of David 1. I'll pack up my bags. Entry, the 203 Mustang. They're down in 18th and 19th right now. Love that livery dragon on the side. So field just starting to settle down a little bit after the initial stages of this one, the opening 10 minutes. And it's Glory Babby leading the way. 3.4 seconds is the gap right now. 3.6 as we speak. Now that is not the race field coming through. That's Harry Smiles coming through there. So Smiles in the 77. He moves himself in the Lamborghini up into P number 19 right now. So nice work there from Harry Smiles. He's going to give chase to Robbins in the 666 Ford. And a few other scraps happening. Bank, Etch and Phillips right now for 9th, 10th and 11th. Have a look at the speed advantage. Gets the big toe down the front straight. Phillips is trying to come through with him as well. Can't quite get it done. Gets a little bit of a knock there. Able to hold it together. All three drivers are able to navigate turn 1 and turn 2. They continue to live to fight another day. Glory Babby continuing to pour it on right now. 47.1 on that previous lap compared to a 47.732 to Breno Ellis. So absolutely flying is Glory Babby in the number 47 Lexus. Hederman down the track as well, 2.4 seconds. Skinny Luke, 4.2 seconds from Hederman. Bursa 2.5 seconds back, and then you've got Newman and Hamilton tied pretty close together right now, as is Gallagher, Bank and Edge. What's happened to Hederman? Let's see. Oh, he's gone through the Ascari chicane and he's just hit the sausage curbs, and that was a little bit too much. And he gets back going again. Go back to live images. There we go. Hederman drops down into P12. So we can start P2. So we've got a bit of ground to make up. Here's Etch-a-Sketch again. This is round 2. And this time it looks like he's going to be able to successfully get this done, or is Bank's going to argue it all the way to the end. That's good driving from both those guys, not to make any contact and to do that all pretty clean. Good driving from both drivers there. Phillips had the ringside view of that one. But that's Etch-a-Sketch, the 386 up into P8. Bank is going to hound him now to try and get that spot back. This is Hamilton. So he's got the Lexus of Ben Newman just up ahead. So they make their way through Lesmo 2. Good battle going on with Phillips and Bank now. So Bank losing another spot out of Ascari. Has he got a bit of an issue, or has he made a bit of a mistake somewhere along the line? I reckon he has. Tarab Bank. And now he is under a bit of duress. He's got Hederman, who's closing rapidly on him right now. Doesn't look like he has any witness marks on that car, so I think he's just made a little mistake somewhere down the line. And is now coming under severe pressure from Hederman. See the Aston Martin getting a nice tow there, as was Bank. At the end of the day, oh no! What happened? So that was Pickard, who just missed his braking point there. Let's stay with this for now. Bank trying to work his way around the outside, around the Curva Grande. He's going to send it down the inside here into the De La Roja, and he does. Nice work there from Tarab Bank. We've seen some nice driving tonight already. Here's Hederman. Good pass there from Bank to take back P number 10. Looking for some other close scraps. So right now, Glory Babby just pumped in a 47.4 in his previous lap. He's not far away from completing another lap. That was 4/10 faster than Breno Ellis's last lap. So 4.3 seconds is the gap between P1 and P2. Skinny Luke. He did a 47. Oh no, that was Pickin. That was Pickin, a big one. That was out of Ascari. And that is absolutely not surprising to see that happen there. That's all too common. So let's see what he does here. He hit, yeah, there you go. Just enough to upset the car. Then he's trying to gather it up. And then bang, big hit into the wall. Yeah, here we go back to live images. So, oh yeah, that's a big one. We've got another car who is, I think he's gone into the pits as well. 69, that's Lee. That was at the, yeah, he's coming. He's coming. Guts up. Yes, Nick Pickard. That's not good. So we'll see if he decides to soldier on, or if he calls that an evening. We'll wait and see. If Gallagher, I think Lee. I think he teleported to the pits. This is Whiteman and Wren, so we've got battles all the way through the field. This is 27th, 28th right now. So he gets the job done. And then back to Newman and Gallagher. But as I was saying, so Glory Babby, 47.3 on that previous lap. Fastest lap of the race is a 47.1. That was done a few laps ago. 47.8 to Alice. 47.5 to Luke. So same with Bursa. No, Bursa was a 48.5. Sorry, not a 47. That was a 48.5. So really only the top three cars in the same sort of time bracket at the moment. What's happened here? What's happened to Gallagher? Let's see if I can pick something up here. This is Ascari. Has he had an issue? Oh yeah, he's gone for a bit of a ride as well, and he's kept it out of the wall there. So nice work, nice driving from Gallagher. He's been able to gather that up and go back on again. So we go back to live images. There we go. Almost 20 minutes gone. It's Babby 47.635 on that previous lap. He's got a little bit of traffic, I think, at the moment he's been dealing with. So Alice would definitely be dealing with the same as well, but not too much traffic at this stage. We've got Hoffman and James swapping positions. Let's see how that's come about. There you go. So out of Ascari down into Parabolica, and just gone a little bit later on the brakes down the inside, and he's able to get that job done. We'll go back to live images in a second. There we go. Here's Wren and Anderson down in 25th, 26th. So Wren just drops that spot to Anderson, one of the AM runners. Speaking of AM runners, it's Hudson once again leading the way. He's in P13 outright as he sends it down the inside ramp. So these two just swapping back and forth their spots, but Daniel Hudson for Negative Camber Racing, highest of the AM runners. So he's sitting in P13 right now. He's first in class. Here's Wells and Hederman, a couple of Aston Martins doing battle down the front straight. There from Hederman, so he's got a bit of work still to do. Qualified in P2, he had that issue at Ascari. Might even be dealing with something as a result of that as well. Hitting the wall, but looks like he's alright for now. Rory Babby, a couple of tenths faster, so 4.6 seconds now the gap between he and Alice. Only the top three drivers in the 47s. Alice and Luke 47.7, Rory Babby 47.5, everyone else is a minimum 48 at the moment. Last lap around Bursa did a 48.3 as we see him coming down the hill towards Ascari. His best lap of the race is a 47.8, so half a second off his best time, but he's pushing hard, he's doing well. Where did he start? He started in 6th. So up 2 spots into 4th. Who's the biggest riser in the field this evening? Skinny Luke would be one of them. He's up there. So he's in P3 right now. He started in 9th, so up 6 spots. And then this person here, Jamin Morosk. I hope I haven't butchered that too bad. I do apologise if I have. He started 22nd. He's up into 15th, so up 7 spots. And Chris Hoffman as well, started 29th in 23rd at the moment. So there's some of your big risers. Fallers so far, we've already talked about Hederman. Chris Wren has dropped a bunch of spots. So he started in 13th. He's down 9 spots, currently sitting in 22nd at the moment. And then Hayden Bevis, he started 17th. And is now 26th, possibly 27th. There we go, he's dropped 10 spots. And Nick Picken has dropped a heap of spots as well, 16 spots. He started in 12th position, now in 28th. So it gives you a bit of an idea of the rises and the fallers. We're not too far away from the 25-minute mark, so should start to see pit stops. The pit stop strategy was interesting last week, wasn't it? Like in terms of, you know, we had some guys that were pretty traditional, that sort of 30-35 minute mark, but then it ended up being who could survive the longest, who could stay out there the longest, shorten that pit stop, splash and dash at the end, and away they go. So let's see what it's like this evening. Schedule definitely going to get all of this ready to go before the next race. Schedule. Here we go. Mandatory pit for fuel. No. I think they're all just mandatory pits for fuel in this series by the looks of things. That's what it was last week. And this week, it is mandatory pit for fuel. So just the standard. Oh, and there was all the quality stuff. And anyway, we'll go through it. We're watching Phillips and Etch-a-Sketch, 7th and 8th right now. Hederman is all over the back of Chirab Bank in the Porsche. So they're 10th and 11th right now. Short shifting there to minimise the wheel spin out of the double Roger. Here's Andy Bear, so he's losing a spot. No, he made up a spot from 1 in the Alpaca My Bags entry. So they're down in 19th and 20th right now. So yeah, we'll see what the fuel strategy is going to be. The front runners were able to stretch it out for a significant amount of time, all while keeping a rapid pace as well. So will that be the same case this evening, or will we see a different kind of strategy play out? We'll have to wait and see, but we're certainly starting to enter that window, if you like, where we'll probably see over the next 10 minutes or so, 10 to 15 minutes I would say, probably some sort of activity happening in the pits, which will give us a bit of an indication on pit times, as well as what the general consensus is. We're down to 29 as well, so we dropped off 2 from the beginning. We started with 31, down to 29. Still an incredibly healthy field, large amount of cars, and yeah, everyone needs to be given a pat on the back for the clean entry into turn 1 and 2, the first chicane tonight. After last week, it was a bit of a mess, but this week, no such issues, and we've seen other really good, clean, hard, respectful racing amongst each other as well. So driving standards pretty high. I thought they were pretty good last week, bar the first lap, but I think you kind of get that when you get round 1 of the season. Those things tend to sort of happen a little bit. Everyone's pretty excited, pretty amped up. It's Friday night. Maybe a few people had a few drinks as well. You don't know. Power to you if that's how you roll on a Friday night. Better to drink and sim drive rather than drink and drive in real life. Do not condone that whatsoever. It's highly illegal and somewhat immoral as well. Newman and Hamilton P5 He started in P5. He's had a good race, I reckon. Hamilton he had a bit of had some struggles in the beginning, but he was able to overcome them, and he's been able to steady the ship, and currently sitting P5 at last lap of 48.3, a few tenths off his best time of 48 flat. And then Newman making up ground under brakes, but yeah, he's had a good race, I reckon. Hamilton and Newman, he started in P3, so he's P6 right now, dropping 3 spots from where he started. So he'll be wanting to make up a bit of ground. At the last lap, he did a 48 flat, so almost as fast as Hamilton's fastest lap. He's going to have a challenge on his hands to keep that blue Lexus behind him, but he's doing quite well right now. Doesn't have any issues as of just this section as they make their way through Lesmo 1 down through Lesmo number 2. And the field very strung out now, so not too many battles really going on, so we're going to have to play a bit of a waiting game See how these pit stops shake out, if that agitates the field at all. The other close battle is Phillips and Etch-a-Sketch. So last lap around, Phillips did a 48.3. Etch-a-Sketch did a 48.150, and it's going to look like he's going to make the move stick, go around the outside into the Parabolica. He does. So nice work there from the 386. Listen, he moves himself up into P number 7. See if he's able to just hold off the Lexus down the main straight. Lexus known for its speed, at the temple of speed. And that's coming out of the pits. Who is that? Is that Hoffman? It is Hoffman. There you go. Good guess. Hederman and bang! Oh, they make contact! Let's see how that came about. So we're on board with Hederman. Making up ground, tucks into the slipstream, pulls out, looking to go down the inside, under brakes a little bit later, and then this is where it happened. He just sort of we'll leave that one for after the race. Looks like he drove into him a little bit, but that was, I didn't get all of the angles on that one, so hard to make a judgment. Where's Bank ended up? So he's down there in 12th, Hederman in 10th, 64. Where are you? 64. That's Anderson. Oh, what's going on here? I wonder if he has a tech issue, a hardware issue. Not too sure what's happened here. Oh, that's a big hit. Oh no. Okay, so that, I think that was Hoffman. Let's see if we can go back. Go the onboard, and then he was just sitting in the middle of the road. Goes under the bridge, and then does not see him. Oh, I just saw him just at the very, very last millisecond. And he'd just come out of the pits as well. So I reckon that might be his race all but over. Harry Smiles has managed to get past Morosk. Apologies once again if I butchered that name. Where is Morosk? Where is he? There you go, 2.5 seconds down the road. And Bank and Wells. So Tarat Bank, he had dropped down into P12. Oh, Moroska's in the pits, of course. Yeah, there we go. It's a heavily wounded Ferrari. This is Kevin Harnett, so I reckon this is a scheduled stop for him. We're, 32 minutes in? About that, yep. So this gives me a bit of an indication on how long pit stop should last, and then give us a bit of an idea as the laps count down. How many more seconds, how less of a time it's going to be as the stops go later. So we're watching Bank and Wells. Wells in the Aston Martin up ahead. Oh, he's a bit of an untidy exit of the Ascari chicane, but doesn't look like it's going to cause him any issues at the end of the day. So he's able to keep Bank at arm's length for now. Field definitely strung out a fair bit, which can happen around here. There's plenty of big gaps. Gabby has got the biggest right now, one of the biggest. As Morosk still in the pits, fixing that injured Ferrari. So Babby, 6.5 seconds is the gap. right now. 47.9 was his previous lap. Alice was a 47.9 as well. Skinny Luke a 48 flat. 48.5 to Bursa. 48.3 to Hamilton. So competitive times, sort of third, fourth, fifth. Watching one. He's got Andy Bear just up ahead. And now that Lamborghini has just come out of the pits, I'm pretty sure. Is it Braithfield? I think it is. The 952. Has he just... No, he hasn't come out of the pits. Has he? He has. No, he hasn't. So it was another black Ferrari that was in the black Lamborghini that was in there. I can't remember which one it was. Skinny Luke is in the pits though, so one of the top three. He was running in third position. Looks like it was almost Hedderman in the pits. Hoffman and Anderson. There you go. That was the yellow and black, or black and orange, or black and gold, whatever it is. So Skinny Luke. It's about 31 seconds. Is the pit time. Or is it? It's a bit longer than that. I think we're going to find out anyway. He's still in there at the moment. He didn't look like he had any damage or anything. Ren was in there earlier. 40 seconds total. 6 stopped. Luke is still in there right now. He was stopped for 35 seconds, so that's definitely a tyre change and fuel. And away he goes. So in P16, so about a minute 8. There you go. Oh, that's Andy Bear going through the runoff there at the chicane. I don't think he's made contact with anything else solid. He's been in the wars, that little Porsche has. But he's good for now. So another Porsche in the field to Rab Bank. He's chasing down Wells. So Wells, previous lap, 48.5 to Bank at 48.8. So 3/10 the difference in pace. But yeah, where's Skinny Luke come out 16th? It's a pretty hefty. He dropped from 3rd to 16th. That's pretty big, isn't it? Minute 8. I don't know if that's... yeah, 35 seconds he was stopped for, so... Here we go. Here's Andy Gallagher. He's pitting in from P11. So we'll see how long he goes for. What will Rory Babby do? Will he run it to the maximum again this week like he did last week? Let's see. It was Bevis who had the heartbreaker last week. There was, who else was... he's not here tonight. John Wu. He's not here this evening. He was in that battle with him and Bevis for quite a long time. It was good watching. Gallagher is still in there at the moment. He's dropping. He's going. He was stopped for a total of 37 seconds. So Skinny Luke was 35. So that's definitely tyres and fuel. Making his way out. So he's going to rejoin in about P19. He'll be about behind these guys. There's Andy Bear right now. I think, Gallagher just drops a spot to James there. So P20th from 11th to 20th is what he dropped. But obviously he's got plenty of cars ahead that still need to make their pit stop right now. Last lap from Babby, 47.9, 2/10 faster than Alice. So the gap is at 6.8 seconds right now. Christian Wells heading into the pits. So that allows Terrell Bank to head through. Let's see if he hits his marks. He does. Nice. He's got a track warning on this lap. Let's go to Andy Gallagher. So he's just behind these two, behind Glory Babby. That's how far ahead Glory Babby is right now. Making his way through Ascari. Gonna get that position done, is he? Yes, he does. Gets a bit of a wobble. James runs a little bit wide as well, so they're both a little bit untidy on the exit. Goes to the bumper of James. And it looks like Gallagher has got that under control. And that's Wells exiting the pits. So he was stopped for 17 seconds. Total pit stop 50 seconds. So he's just done fuel. He hasn't done tyres. So 25 minutes left. Interesting. Chris Wren, he's made a stop as well. I think he's pitted for tyres. Neither did Douglas. Wonder how long ago those pit stops were. Oh yeah, Douglas was 24 minutes ago. So Alice is in the pits. So he was running in P2. He's been in there for 30 odd seconds at the moment. Keep an eye on that time. Go back to the leader. Who else? Any other close scraps out there? No, we don't. Let me just focus on this for a second. God, he's been stopped for 30. Stationary for 30. 33 and counting. 35. 34. There we go. So Alice is on his way out. He was stopped for 34 seconds. His total pit time is going to be about a minute 6, a minute 7, I think. A minute 7, there you go. So a minute 8 with Skinny Luke. So about a minute 7 seems to be. Between a minute 7 to a minute 10, I reckon it seems to be about the par time for a pit stop this evening. And that is taking fuel and tyres. Fuel is mandatory, tyres are not. So it's to the discretion. And the gap right now between Alice and Babby is a minute 16. So that even if Babby just cruised in, he would still be able to come out with a significant lead. As it stands right now, 23 and a half minutes left. So we've been going for, 40 odd minutes so far. We've got something in yellow. Oh, that's at the Parabolica. Who is that? That's a Ferrari. Is it Marosk? No. Was it Ren? No. Who was it then? Number 6. 26. Oh, it was Whiteman. It wasn't a Ferrari. It was a McLaren. They do look a little bit similar at a glance. Excuse me for that. He's Etch-a-Sketch, so he is not pitted. None of the top 12 have. Here's Alice getting past Robbins there. So Alice, after he's made his spot, making up a little bit of ground there, one spot from the 666 Ford. Last trip around, Newman 49.2, Etch-a-Sketch, whatever, 48.6. So significant advantage on that previous lap. I had the IMSA race last weekend, 24-hour Daytona. Here we go. a better view from here. Let's see. Lexus versus Nissan. All Japanese fight. Tuck into the toe. Let's see what he can do. Can he brake a little bit later? That was a nice move from Sketch. Good driving from both drivers. No contact. A little bit of contact on the exit. And at the end of the day, good driving from both drivers and nice move from Sketch. So he moves up into P number 4, the 386 Nissan. Good start. He started in 10th, so he's moved up 6 spots. And that's a legit 6 spots because everyone around him still needs to pit. So having a good race. Breno Alice is the outlier there. He's P12. He's the first car in terms of cars that are pitted amongst the top of the field there. So here's Andy Bear. He's making his way into the pits. That car's already seen a bit, and that's our race leader in the background, Glory Babby, leading the way. What's that lap time? A 47.655. So absolutely flying. The only car out there right now in the 47s. Let's go for a ride with him. Great lap from Babby, 47.797 the time, 126. That's Whiteman. Oh, he's had an off there at the Della Roja, and he is in the pits. Here is Breno Alice out of Lesmo 1 into Lesmo 2. But a few things I saw on that lap. Firstly, like how incredibly hooked up was that car and how smooth was the driving. No stabbing at the accelerator pedal or on the steering wheel. So it looked incredibly hooked up. And then how smooth everything was and how smooth it rode over those bumps, as we saw Breno Alice doing the exact same thing there. So just knowing exactly how far you can push and how hard you can push over those little sausage curbs, I thought was quite impressive. And then I don't know if you also noticed like the approach. I think it was to the Della Roja, the second chicane, where he sort of went a bit left. He sort of weaved left and then drifted back right again. I'm not too sure if that was intentional, if that's just how he does it. Yeah, it was. I don't think I've really sort of seen that before. So yeah, great lap nonetheless. So he's flying out in front. So obviously the top 8 have yet to pit. Of the top 10, only Phillips is pitted. Alice has moved past him. So Breno Alice up into P10. It's Harry Smiles. So him and Breno Ellis were going at it just previously. He's just trying to make up some ground there on Phillips in the Lexus. 16 minutes left, so the sort of time's kind of creeped up on us a little bit. And still plenty of cars yet to pit. Obviously, the longer we go, the less likely it is that they're going to take tyres. It's going to be a splash and dash, and I think we've probably crossed that threshold from now on. Alice was stationary for 34 seconds at minute 7. That was, 8 minutes ago, so he's probably done about 6 laps since, 5-6 laps. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Who can go the longest, save their tyres the most, run economically, and still fast at the same time. That is always the challenge. Maximum return for minimal effort, basically. Was it Harnett and Bevis? Or Bevis and James? That's James in the number 6 Mustang. Harry Smiles is in the pits right now. Making his way. He'll have to hit his marks. Pitting out of P14. Waiting to start P18. So he's had a good race. He's moved north. That's what you want. You don't want to be moving south. You want to be moving north up the leaderboard. Nice work from him. Ellis goes through. He's got... Does he have Gallagher? No. Is that Bracefield? Yeah, it is. So Bracefield's in P25, while Wells is in P16. So I think Bracefield has pitted twice. He has. Hoffman's pitted 3 times. What's happened? Oh, that was Harry Smiles in the pits. That's why he dropped a spot. This is Harnett and Douglas, 19th and 20th right now. Closest battle on circuit. That's why we're looking at it. All the rest of them are all sort of pretty stretched out once again. Sort of effect of this circuit. Babby, 47.475 that previous lap. Bersa with a 48.477, but he's 28.7 seconds behind. So that's not good right now. Babby's definitely got this well in hand. He's looking to make it 2 from 2, clean sweep, number 2 of the season. Alice was in P2. He's putting in some good times though. 47 flat. He's flying. So that fresh rubber that he had, he's put into good use right now. He's down there in 10th. 7 seconds behind. Well, my race abysmal. Phil Whiteman think I'm in the wrong... Nah, Phil, not at all. Not at all. You know what? You can't have success without sucking a bit first. And, you know, we're all here to just have some fun, and, you know, you just, the more you do it, the better you get at it. So definitely not the wrong league. It's a very welcoming league. All levels are welcome. You just got to keep chipping away at it. Just, the more you do it, the better you end up at it. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best. There you go. What do we got? Yeah, so this is Alice. So what was he putting in? 47. Like, that was almost 3 seconds faster than Hudson. Don't follow decal there on the rear of the car. 12 minutes to go. So definitely getting towards the pointy end of this one. Let's have a look a bit on track action. That's Babby. That is Bracefield behind him. And then it's Wells in the Aston Martin ahead of Babby. So Babby just dealing with a little bit of traffic here. Watch how easily he rides these bumps. Look at that. Virtually just... Oh, doesn't... barely moves. over those little sausage curves. Just flying right now is the number 47. Round 1 race winner, our pole sitter. And looking to go back to back is Wren and Wells. And looks like Wren gets past momentarily. It's going to be Italian versus English with a bit of Japanese thrown in there. Babby says, I'll just take the middle lane here, fellas. I'll leave you guys to it. I'll leave you to fight it out. And good driving all around there. That was the Ferrari. That was Marosk as well, making the move on Braithfield down there in 25th and 26th. So good driving in by all involved there into the first chicane. So nice work. We've seen once again another high standard. I've seen racing love the broadcast. Yeah, great show tonight with all the drivers racing hard. I agree. That's all you can really ask for, right? Just good, hard, clean racing. Always results in a good show. He's just how long has he been in there for a while? I've been blubbering about 18 seconds. There we go. So he's only just gotten in there. He's Hedderman, so he's moved himself back up the field. He's in P5 right now. So he started in P2. He's had his issues this evening. So he's got some pace in that Aston Martin. And obviously all of these guys are just doing splash and dash to finish off this race. There's Breno Ellis. So he's got past Etch-a-Sketch, who's in the pits. He's just come out of the pits. So that's Skinny Luke. It is. He was one of the first drivers to pit down there in P11 right now. So he's got Phillips just up ahead. So this is all for position right now. 10th, 11th, 12th. This is all for position at this stage. And we've got only 9 minutes to go. 7:87. That's Hoffman at Parabolica. He's had his issues tonight, Hoffman, hasn't he? He hit the stationary car. He was already in the pits before that, and he's had a little spin around there at Parabolica. But he keeps on trucking. That's all you can ask. That's how you get better. Stick with it, Phil. You might not be at the top of the leaderboard. That's it. I agree. But the more time on track, the better your time will be, mate. That is 100% true. Practice. Scrap going on right now for 10th and 11th. 8.5 minutes left. These two are navigating the Scary chicane. Scary means like the spirit god. Something like that for the Germanic meaning. War. Enough about that though. These two, almost make a little bit of contact there. Going to the bumper of Luke. I don't think this battle's over just yet. I like how Phillips has got his surname on the where the number plate will be. That's cool. I like it. That's who you're racing, buddy. And Skinny Luke pulls out of the draft, looking to go down the inside. He's later on the brakes. Oh, Phillips was a little bit later on the brakes in the end, but to no avail. Skinny Luke gets the job done, and he moves up into P8, so expect to see him charging up a little bit further. He along with Breno Ellis. So expect those guys to move up. Everyone else needs to pit. That's Etch-a-Sketch. Oh no, he gets it wrong. So he was in such a good spot there. Did Phillips have a mistake there too? Because look at that, Skinny Luke has just gapped him. So something's happened to Simon Phillips there in the Meatworks entry. Here's Gabby. Gabby's in and out. Look at that. He was stopped for 7 seconds. 40 seconds. Babby in, out, done. So we're looking at about total time 40 seconds. Maybe if you stretch it out for another couple of laps, 38, 37, maybe. let's work with 40 seconds. That'll give us a bit of an idea. So this is Hederman and Newman. Newman's in the other Meatworks entry, so Phillips and Newman, both Meatworks entries. Good scrap going on. That's Babby right behind him as well. So this is all third position. Obviously Babby has pitted, these two haven't. So they will be open to fight. They don't have to let him through. So you can find sometimes in these situations where two drivers ahead have got a scrap going on. So you just need to have a little bit of awareness. Don't want to ruin anyone's race, but then at the same time you're not obliged to move out of the way. There's no blue flags waving here. There's no rules that say that you have to give way. Oh, Hederman just running off, running out of the exit there, out of Parabolica, and that puts to rest any sort of issue that we might have had brewing there, any late race dramas. And he drops into P4 right now. So it's Bursa, Newman, and Gabby right now. Oh, Hamilton is in the pits. There you go. And he's dropped. He's done. He's out. He was stopped for a total of 6 seconds. So quick little splash and dash. Oh, what's happened to Babby? So around the Curva Grande. Let's see what happened to him. Oh, did he just run wide? Did he just get on the marbles a little bit? I reckon he did. Yep. And that allowed Hederman to go through again, but he needs to pit still Hederman. So Babby still well in control of this. And then so Bertha and Newman up ahead. Both need a pit. There's less than 4 minutes remaining. 3 minutes 50 seconds. Robbins is in the pits right now. Yeah, I don't know, Akimbo Neon. Yeah, I think Laurie felt bad for getting in the way of Ben's battle. Yeah, not too sure. But all's well that ends well, right? So Bursa, our race leader, in the 66, is making his way into the pits. Hederman isn't. Bursa is. Newman is as well in the other Meatworks entry. So that means Hederman will take control of this one. Oh, that is that Aston Martin of Hoffman. He's had a few adventures tonight. He's getting out of the way there as well. Off he goes. Good driving. There we go. We just we move on. I think he went on voice comm to say, I won't get in the way, and then Hederman. Ah, right. Thanks for the intel there, Akimbo Neon. Appreciate that. That is very, very, very good etiquette there from Babby, saying he's not going to get in the way of anyone. So nice work. Good racing all around. That's what you get in league racing. That's what I like about it. The community and looking out for one another. Good stuff. Hudson, he's dropped a couple of spots. Oh, have a look at this. There's blue flags being waved. Ah, that is Gallagher going around. Almost went around. That was a very angry pack. That's the Aston Martin in there. Who is that though? It's not Hamilton. It's Wells. There you go. More blue flags are being waved. So was it Bracefield? Yeah, it is Bracefield, and it's Marosk too. So those two cars in front, the Ferrari and the Lamborghini, they're both the back markers. Gallagher's been able to catch back up to them. A minute 23 left in the race. Hederman
the leader is on the final lap.
is
The final push.
making his way into the pits. We get the signal that we are on the final lap. Oh, what happened to Hudson and Gallagher? Wells ended up getting through. So this is a great old scrap. They've still got another lap to go after this one, but the leader is on the final lap. There's Hederman making his stop. It'll be a splash and dash for him. We've got Glory Babby making his way through the Curva Grande. Here's Phillips. Simon Phillips. Oh, these Meatworks drivers, they're pretty good. I like them. They're P7, P8 right now. I like the matching liveries, just with the different base colours. Yeah, these guys are very, very solid. Very, very solid. Newman started 3rd and Phillips started 7th. So Newman a little bit high, he's dropped down a bit, but good strong pairing, these two. If they're part of the team or whatever, but good racing from those guys. But no one's been better than this man tonight. Glory Babby making his way through Ascari for the final time, and he has not taken the fastest lap of the race, so he won't get the full clean sweep again, but he put it on pole position last week and he took the race victory, and it's a very, very similar strategy to this one tonight. Then again tonight, a slide there through Parabolica. He took pole position again. He's led for the majority of the way. And season 1, round number 2, Glory Babby goes 2 from 2, clean sweep. Congratulations to him. That's a pretty convincing win. About 24 seconds was the gap at the finish line to Breno Ellis. But Glory Babby, great race from him. Great driving. He's proven once again he is the class of the field. Here comes Breno Ellis. Good drive from him. So he started in P4. He's going to come home P5. Congratulations to the number 1 BMW. He will take P2. Matt Bursa, good race from this guy. Started 6th, finishes in 3rd. Hamilton, he started 5th. He finishes in 4th. That's a good drive from Philip Hamilton. Very, very good drive from this guy as well. Skinny Luke. He's usually up the pointy end. Ben Newman, the Meatworks boys, in 6th and 7th. Nice to see a result from them. Etch a Sketch as well in P8 in the Nissan. So that's your front guys right now. Here's Chirag Bank. He ends up in P9. When did he start? P11. Nice work from him. Here is Michael Azar. He's going to round out the top 10. Looking for class winners. Hederman ends up in P11. Wren is going to end up crossing the line in P number 12. The pink Porsche of Gallagher, that is going to end up coming home in P number 13. So where did he start? Started in P8, so he dropped 5 spots. Here's our AM class winner. This is Daniel Hudson. He's going to make it 2 from 2 as well. So overall and the AM winners both repeat. Congratulations to Daniel Hudson. He takes out the AM class. So nice work from him. Dylan Douglas, Hayden Bevis. Didn't see too much of him this evening. The Tassie boy in P16th, and then Harry Smiles in 18th on the lead lap. 1, Pick and Bear, James Bracefield, Morosk, Hoffman, Robbins, and Anderson. So started with 31, ended with 28. That's pretty good. I like that. That's a good attrition rate, I reckon. But big congratulations to Glory Babby, who's taken out round number 2, race victory number 2 for him for the season. He's proven to be quite the force to get proceedings underway. But that's all done. We're all wrapped up for round number 2. So he's going to do some celebratory donuts. It's too bad you don't have like smoke and stuff. That would be cool. Breno Ellis is going to join as those fellas enjoy themselves there. But that is everything for round number 2 of season number 1 of the ACC GT3. I hope you enjoyed the stream on Ruse TV for Oz Racing. If you like, and if you're still here, or if you've watched it, you fast forward to the end, feel free to give it the stream a like. Also, if you want to get in touch, they've got a Discord as well. So if you're watching and you're thinking about, would you like to race? There is a Discord available. There's a website as well that you can connect on, and there's plenty of racing across different formats and different platforms and whatnot at Oz Team Racing. So if you are interested, reach out. Just Google them. There's a Discord. There's a website. It's pretty easy to get in contact. But that's it for round number 2. We're going to do it all again in a couple of weeks. Round number 3 is going to be at Bathurst, so that's exciting. So that should be another great race. Pardon the pun. But we'll do it all again in 2 weeks. So I hope you enjoyed the stream on Ruse TV. My name's Nick. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Do it all again. Same place, same time at Bathurst.